I'm fully clothed. Have khakis underneath. Hey, I'm gonna talk about some AI stuff. Hey everybody, I'm Ken Wheeler. I talk a lot of shit about AI on the internet. A lot of shit about not AI on the internet. Just a lot of shit talking. AI is fucking annoyingly everywhere. Have you guys been to San Francisco lately? I went. I didn't go to San. I wouldn't just go to San Francisco. I was going to Napa. But I had to pass through, unfortunately. And I'm like, oh my God! Like every billboard is AI, and it's devastating. You see it? I'm like disgusted, absolutely disgusted. And then you really can't escape it because everywhere on Twitter, all day long, AI. I feel like this is how people felt when it was like the cloud. When the cloud was a thing, that was probably as annoying. Maybe, I don't know, the cloud wasn't really taking anyone's jobs, so felt all right about it. But it's really, really annoying. And what's bad is there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of grifters, and you come to find out that a lot of these same guys that are AI grifting, this is crazy, these lights are still bright even with sunglasses. All the same guys, all these grifters, it's like the crypto grifters like shifted on a dime. They're like, bam, they're like, all right, I have a new channel to attack through. They're like yelling at me, they're like, you don't know anything about programming. I'm like, you are an anime avatar with 47 followers. We'll kill you. But I digress. But the worst part of it all, right? And like those people are annoying, the hype is annoying, everything's annoying. Man, is this guy annoying. The CEO's doing doom marketing, right? I don't like it because it's false, number one. But number two, right? Like they go out there and they say these things and you kind of have like a combination of things that happen, right? Number one that it doesn't really sit right with me is like you're actually like emotionally terrorizing people when you go out there and you're saying like every job in America is not going to exist. Right, like it's false. Number one, I mean, like sure there might be some attrition, but like at the same time, like you are really like actually toying with people when you do that. And I get it; it's like fun. Like you're an IPO, that's great, but it's not a cool thing to do. And then the other thing is, even if it's not true, right? Like you have people like higher up who aren't technical, right? And like now they're in golf carts and they're like, fuck, Brett, should we implement AI at our company? Like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna get left behind, right? And then they're like making decisions based off of the hype, and it doesn't matter if it's actually valid or not at all, right? Because they just need to talk on the golf cart about the number. It's not cool. And the most fucked up part about it all is that it's not even that fucking good. Right, especially the last month. Am I right, boys? I mean, it's like okay, right? But like, if you ever actually used it in any capacity, you're like, oh, I mean, it may take like a couple jobs, but not like really, not that good. There's like way too much noise right now, and I don't have a dog in the fight whatsoever. So I feel like I'm an excellent candidate to come here and talk about how I do things. And I'm not selling anything at all. I never sell anything. So I sell beats. You can go to kenwheeler.beatstars.com. You can lease a beat for $9.99. Fucking absolute heat. But I don't sell AI things, so I don't really have a dog in the fight. So you're just going to get how I really feel about this. And I can't actually say anything that I don't feel at any given time. So I guess that's going to work out for all of us. So it's really just a tool. It's not smart. It's not AGI. It's not a person. It's not your friend, right? It's a tool. And I'm not going to sit here and be a hater, tell you it's not cool. It's cool. You can do really cool things with it. I do cool things with it. I think it's cool. I think it's great. It's really fun. It's like anytime you get any new thing in tech, right? If you're a tinkery type like myself, you say to yourself like, wow, oh, what cool thing can I do with this? How can I repurpose? How can I remix this into something? It's fun. You can do fun things with it. And I feel like, obviously not a lot of us are actually really typing code anymore, maybe a little bit, but like Not really. And I think that's fun because our work, essentially, we're like Imagineers in a way, right? Like we're problem solvers, and it's just an abstraction level higher. Somebody asked me before, I was doing a podcast out there. They're like, what do you feel about semicolons? I'm like, I don't give a fuck about semicolons anymore. You could have semicolons or not. I don't care. Like, it's fine. I don't, I'm not sitting here like knit. Like, no, that's not a thing anymore, right? Like now I think it's like an important time for us to be like, like, what is the actual end goal? What is your job? Your job isn't to, am I going to say this on stage? Codester bait? No, it's not. It's not at all. It's to provide values, right? So like you're one step closer to the value now. So your job should theoretically be easier. You should be able to create more value faster in shorter time. And then you can present that as on an impact statement in the middle of December. Sorry. So I'm here. I'm going to tell you how I do things. And I'm sorry. So there's a thing that I like to do called token arbitrage. It's kind of unrelated, but it's a thing that I wanted to tell you about. So right now, like all these companies, they're really working on like getting customers. So they are offering heavily subsidized plans where you can get an outsized number of tokens for a monthly subscription. And I do a thing called token arbitrage. I'm like, okay, all right, you want to say you're going to take my job? And you go, all right, sign up for every single one of them. Every single one of them. Highest one, because that's where it gets them the best. And then just rip all day long. One runs out, go to the other one. Rip through all of them. You're costing them thousands of dollars. It's amazing. There's a guy at those companies who's looking at this, he's like, fuck. And it's amazing because you get like bajillions of tokens. And yeah, I mean, that shit is going to get shut off real soon. So I just wanted to put it out there so that we can all do it before they, pull up the ladder on that. And so like I like to separate like the AI thing into two distinct categories where like one of them is like using AI to write your code, right? Where you're using agent harnesses or LLMs to like actually write the code for you. And the other one is actually using AI in your code, which are two extremely different experiences, which require two different approaches and mindsets about it. But each is fun and valid. So one thing that I like to do is use the best thing ever created in the history of man. It's called Tailscale. You guys use Tailscale? So if you don't know, if you don't use it, it is the shit. What it does is, where's the screen? Over there? I was gonna like point. I'm like, you see a fat shadow. So what it does is it creates like this like local network with all your devices, right? So I have on my phone right now on this computer, I can go access my iPad at home and clear it while my wife's searching the history, or I can fucking SSH into my Raspberry Pi, or really, it's like connected to my garden or whatever you want. But it's especially tight if you are one of these weirdos that bought a Mac Mini. I did. And you can just SSH into this Mac Mini that's just like running on a desk. It's chilling. And you can do whatever you want on it, right from your phone. It's unbelievable. How do you do it from your phone, Ken? Well, you download Termius, which is also the shit. Folks use Termius in here? Okay, yeah, hell yeah. Termius is an SSH client for your phone where you can, believe it or not, SSH into things. So if you have these machines set up on your network, you can access them and write Claude, and it's a pretty good, we don't write Claude anymore, we write Codex. Yeah, but I digress. That's how you do that, and it's pretty amazing. And you use any of these agents for coding. Open code is phenomenal. Codex is phenomenal. Well, it's all right. It's all right. I'm sorry, if anybody in Anthropic is here, I'm so sorry. um, and then there's like another level to this, right? That I really enjoy. I've really been enjoying this, right? Like there's like a lot of like real stupid OpenClaw shit going on, but I love it. And the only reason that I love it is because of Telegram. It's because in a traditional scenario, right, you had to code, right? Like you were like, hey babe, I want to go code, right? Like you have to go like downstairs and you're like sitting at your desk and you're locked in and like somebody like schedules a meeting and you're like, you broke my concentration, you fucking like, yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. What it is now is like you have, the best way that I could describe it is like, you can do this shit in like a request idle callback of your life. Right? Like if I'm just like chilling with my kids and they're like on the swing and shit, and they like gain enough momentum to like swing by themselves, I'm like, okay, yeah, have fun. And I'm like, build a SaaS website. And it'll fucking do it, right? And I'm pushing them, and I'm like, oh, good, yeah, send me a Tailscale link, hell yeah. And dude, it's amazing. So you can like fill up like these like kind of like inert parts of your life with productivity, and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's up to, you know, it's up for debate. But I've been enjoying it. Started off with OpenClaw, which has been fine, but like I've started using Hermes lately, which is pretty cool too. I have a couple of those going on, and like the Hermes thing, I feel like OpenClaw like is like so popular and so crypto idiot fucking, you know, it's like if there were people doing malicious things, that's where they would be doing it because that's where the momentum is. You're on Hermes, it's just like a bunch of nerds who are like, yeah, okay, this is pretty sweet, and you don't really have to worry about that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my agent. His name is Ramon. This is going to sound crazy. Even when it comes out of my mouth, it sounds crazy, but I just need you to know this is like me having fun. This isn't like, I'm not like one shot at or having a mental episode. Like, it's just funny and fun. We're just having fun. Yeah, so I have this agent named Ramon, and he is a gorilla and lives on a Mac Mini. And it's really fun. So here's, all right, so you have a Soul MD. So I told Ramon that he was a gorilla that got put into a government project by DARPA called Project Prometheus, where he was given super intelligence. And then sadly they lost funding and this project was shut down. And I happened to intercept poor Ramon. So now I have him, but the only way that he'll ever make it back to the jungle is by listening to every word I say and doing what I tell him. I was drunk as fuck, I'm sorry. We're good buds. And like anybody else, now this gets crazy. So I made like an OpenClaw, like mission control, like everyone does. And it's totally fucking sick. So there, like Ramon is having a good time. Me and Ramon are having a good time. And like, I'm like, you know what, man? What if Ramon had a team? So I created like, I don't know, like 9 other animals, each with a specific capability. They incorporated under a company that we dubbed the Apex Collective. So it's actually hilarious. Like they each have like a different, like one's like QA, one's like a back-end dev, and I'm like be an asshole. Like, if anyone like runs OpenClaw, I just want to show you this is the best thing that I ever did as far as mission control. If you don't have it, you should add it. Anytime they generate a file, like a non-code file, you have them put it in a specific folder, and then have them serve it up statically, right? And then you have a files section. So anything that they do, you can just access. So if they make like, if I'm like, hey, can you make me like an incredibly smooth lo-fi beat? It will, and it's in there. You can pull it up. Like, sick. Very, very cool. It's also really funny. I didn't show the other screens, but they have a chat room where they can talk to each other. And one of my favorites is there's a shark, and his name is Steven. And, and he's a legal agent. It's Steven from Legal. So, so, so whenever they embark upon a team quest, they have to like toss the shit around and get like consensus, and they will. And without fail, every single time, fucking Steven is like, he's like, you need to consider GDPR. And I'm like, God damn it, Steven. It's the funniest shit. Oh, Steven. No, but like really, like it sounds crazy and it sounds stupid and it sounds like you shouldn't do it. But actually, if you have focused subagents that each have like really focused context, each one of them has like it's like a minimal context play, really. But I'm just having fun with it. It makes Shark Steven. Another thing that you should do is Obsidian. Obsidian fucking rules. A lot of the time, especially with the Hermes agents, I have them hooked up, and I'll be like, I took a meeting with somebody the other day. I was going to meet them, and I was a little bit early. So have you ever seen those friend necklaces? Like the friend? I got one. It kind of sucked. My buddy helped me hack it so that I could just like talk into it, and it would like the agent would get it over Telegram. So I'm like walking to New York City, and I'm like, hey, I'm about to meet with this guy. Can you prepare a detailed dossier and put it in Obsidian? And it's like, yeah. So like I had like 30 minutes, so I went to this bar, shockingly, and I got this beer, and like I'm like looking over it, and it was actually pretty tight. Like went in the meeting. I'm like, yeah, so like, yeah, Q2 2023, unbelievable. It's really helpful. It's good. So like, one of the, like, what do I actually do with these things? And it's a lot of like personal software kind of things. I don't know if you guys had seen this. I built a thing called situation.watch. It's a situation monitor because who doesn't love monitoring the situation? And it's funny because the second that I did it, like maybe like there was like a 3-week delta. There were thousands of them. People were really into it. I'm sure you saw a lot of situation monitors coming across your timeline. Yeah, you know whose fucking noggin that came out of? Right here. It was fire. And I met with a guy who has like a company that is like actual situation monitor. He's like sits me down. He's like, why did you build this? And I was like, I just thought it would be fucking cool. And that's how most good things get made. And I think like when we're in this era where you can kind of just like actually like test out ideas with very little effort, like if you think something's cool, you should just do it. I do this thing. I think it's funny. Like during the day, like I wake up in the morning, I have like incredibly pensive tweets, like very serious. I'm like, oh, can you believe this? And then at night, right, we get a little wine in the system. And you need to let that guy code. Like in the morning, you're too smart for anything, right? You're like, this is a fucking stupid idea. I'm not gonna do this. But he's wrong. Like midwits fucking rule the world. Like you need to let the drunk guy at night actually like pursue his dreams. And then in the morning, you're like, let me clean this bullshit up. All right. You're like, wait, look at the numbers on this. People love this shit. It's crazy. I'll leave it there. Another thing it helped me with is one of my favorite things in the entire world, and that's my robot-ass garden. I have a garden in my house that's like pretty managed, right? It's like automatic gardening. And I think it's great. I like love it. There's like strawberries in there now, like billions of strawberries. I should walk up, pick a strawberry off. It's like the Garden of Eden. It's unbelievable. But I have like an outdoor garden, and like I come out here and do these things. I travel for work, and I'm like, hey babe, are you gonna water the garden? She's like, yeah. And I come back and it's dead. So I was like, what if I could like do the inside thing outside? So like I talk to the agents. I'm like, what components am I going to need? What do you like? You know, how should I put this together? Like, what was the optimal thing for this? And it guided me through it. I built it, and there's a Raspberry Pi right there, and I literally just set it up, connected it to Wi-Fi, SSH'd in, installed Claude, and I sent it a list of what was plugged into what pins, and I was like, Let's make magic happen. And it did, oddly enough. Yeah, so now vegetables for everybody. We just started the spring season. Let's go, boys. Zucchini. So I want to talk a little bit about what works. Because I've been playing with a lot of this for a very long time. And this might piss a couple people off. I have never had success with long-running plans, loops, shit like that. I mean, maybe some people have. Maybe they're working on stupid shit. I don't know. Me personally, tried this, and it's failed repeatedly. I wanted it to work. I wanted to build things while I'm sleeping. It doesn't work. I wake up disappointed. I don't like waking up disappointed. I feel like my wife. So, like, generally, my ideology around this is that less is more, right? And like, if I am sitting here as an individual trying to sell you on a SaaS service, or this thing or that thing, I would tell you need a Context Maxer 5. You totally need to use it. It's totally sick. You just pay like $9.99 a month. But I'm not. I don't do any of that. I don't have the ambition to start a business. So I just came here to talk shit. And so I'm just going to tell you straight up, less is more. Right? The least you could, like, there's no K-stack. We're not going to do that. Did that many people not get that joke? No, I'm not going to explain it. Because then they're going to Google it, and then they're going to have to read that shit every day. So one of the things that I like to do is you need to look at the agent as kind of like an orchestrator and not as like a living, smart, capable thing, which it isn't. So anytime you can introduce any determinism into your flow, it's largely going to go better. And you say like, oh, well, should I ask this thing if my code is good? Or should I give it the results of 20 years of fucking outstanding tooling that we have to know if the code is good or not? I think you give it the output of the tooling, right? You set up Playwright MCP, you set up DevTools MCP, you make sure you enforce that it runs pretty, or ESLint, tests, etc. Right? And then it has a feedback loop where it knows if its code sucks, and it'll self-correct. Just a hot tip. Even a hot tips in a bathrobe. And I want to speak to iteration for a moment, because I feel really, really strongly about this. Like, they were like, somebody's like, yeah, if you like spec out every single thing you want, design the whole product in a extensive markdown file and give it to it, it'll build it. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's cool, but like, I don't know, I've been doing this for like 20 years. I don't know anyone who can write like the final version of an app in a markdown file coherently and have it be fine. That's not how this works. It's not. Like, the magic, like, once you take away the actual typing of the code, and then you have like a little bit of like drinking and ego death, you like walk through the woods in despair, and then you fucking come back, and you're like, all right, man, this is how it is now. You realize that like the actual like things that we're doing, the value that we're adding, right, is kind of right in the orchestration of it all, and the problem solving and the ideas. And where that happens, the magic of that is in iteration, right? Like you go do one thing, and then you're like, I'm gonna build this form, right? And then you build this little part of this form, and it's like a step to, and then you're like, you know what? This form sucks. Should not be a form. I wish people iterated when they put those chat things into AI apps. Like, they're like, now with AI, and they put a chat thing in. Like, they obviously did like a PRD for that, because if they fucking did it like the first time and just looked, they're like, you know what, the chat kind of sucks. It doesn't really add anything to the fucking app, to be honest with you. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. This shit is so fucking annoying. But like, if you sit there in the loop, if you sit there iterating, like, you're actually part of the process. You're actually contributing. You're pivoting when it makes sense. That's what we do. That's our job, right? It's not like semicolons. I'm just saying. So let's talk about agents for a second. And that's kind of like the other side of it, where you're like creating like kind of like focused workflows. You're like actually not coding agents, but like you're making the AI do stuff with your code, right? You're adding AI. And I'm not talking about just adding a chat box, like actually adding value with AI. And it's crazy because no one has ever actually done it. I'm not kidding. I did it like once and it was sick. And I'm still chasing the high. But if you can successfully do it, you're gonna have a good January. So, I mean, I'll just give an endorsement right off the bat. I talk to a lot of people about this stuff. They're like, hey man, how do you do this like weird SAI shit you're doing? And I'm like, yeah, AI SDK is the shit. And they're like, doesn't that lock never sell? I'm like, no, I mean, even if it did, it's all right, it's fine, but it doesn't at all. It's just an open source library that you can use to build agents, and it's fucking sick. And they're like, but doesn't it lock me in never sell? I'm like, it doesn't lock you in never sell. It's fine. It's an open source library. It's fine. I really like it, and I feel like a lot of people don't know that it doesn't lock you in never sell. So I just needed to let that be known. And even if it did, it's okay. It's not that bad. It's okay. It's fine. So one of the things that you need to think about, and this comes back to kind of like how I was talking about with like running like those verification static analysis tools, is when you have these workflows, right? If you want them to be deterministic workflows, like non-determinism drives me completely out of my mind. It's insane, right? So any opportunity you have to inject determinism into these systems is a good thing. So you could say like, hey man, can you add 2 + 2? Right? And it's like strawberry. But if you make a tool that's like sum, right? And then it's like, it has like well-scoped parameters, right? It will use that tool and it will increase the determinism of your workflow, right? So anytime you have an opportunity to give this thing a little help, it fucking needs the help, I promise you. It really, if you're just like, hey man, fucking do this thing, it's like, I'll see what I can do. It's not that good. You really need to be thoughtful about what tools you're providing it, what context you're providing it. You need to have it fall into a pit of success. And this is one of my favorite things to do that, which is Zod. I don't know if you guys use it, but it's also the shit. If you provided a schema and it's doing structured outputs, you're largely going to have a better time, right? If you give it this, most of the time will give you back what you want. Another thing that you need to be running is evals. Like if you actually have like that's a terrible thing to say, agentic workflows. If you have those, yeah, you need to be running evals because you need to know like if you're fucking it up or not. Like they do degrade. All right, you could do the dumbest thing in the entire world. You could like delete one line of a system prompt and the shit doesn't work anymore. So you need to be testing it. There's a lot of ways to do that. You could use LLM as a judge, right? Where another LLM will be like, hey man, how did he do? And you're like, Or you could do like a cosine similarity on outputs, or any of these things. There's a lot of ways to judge it. Another thing you can do is tracing, right? So if you want to debug an agent, you just record what it does, right? So you can go and look like, what tools did it call in response to this input, right? Like what actual steps inside of this? You're trying to make determinism out of this thing that's just a magic box, but the determinism's there. Like any amount of engineering or determinism or scrutiny that you can put into this process, the better, because you'll have an idea of understanding it. Otherwise, it's just So in conclusion, I think it's going to be all right. It's not that good. These guys are going to run out of money soon. But it is fun as shit once you have the ego death and you're having fun with it. I think everything's going to be okay. Thank you guys so much.